Hey there, folks. Alex here, and wanted to come back on today and make a couple of videos actually. Basically, I've just had an absolutely amazing week in regards to buying vinyl. I never expected to have this many records to show you. At the start of the week, on Monday, I would have had maybe 3 or 4 things, you know, to show you. But now here we are on Friday, and I have the best part of 30 records to get through today and show you guys. So, as you can imagine, it's been a pretty amazing week, an exhilarating week for me, and I'm still trying to kind of take it all in. Just have so much music to listen to, and so many records to get through. So, yeah, this afternoon I was thinking I might just sit down and listen to a bunch of these. But first and foremost, I wanted to come on and obviously show you guys what I've picked up and what I've got my hands on, and really happy with all the stuff I've managed to get. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up into 2 videos. This first video, I'm just going to be showing you some kind of miscellaneous, more random finds that I've picked up since my last update a few weeks ago. And then in the second video, I'm going to be showing you the remaining kind of 25 records, which have a little bit of a different story behind them. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to doing that, but this first video is me showing you some other finds. So yeah, playing in the background is one of my favourite albums of all time, John Lennon's Imagine. Just amazing album. I was just watching the film Gimme Some Truth. I think Yoko Ono put it together about 10 years ago, and it's basically documenting the making of this album and everything that went with making this album, and just seeing those songs come together was really really a mesmerizing experience, and really moving as well, actually. So definitely recommend you check out that film. It's called Gimme Some Truth. They aired it here in the UK last night on Sky Arts, but I'm sure you can get hold of it on DVD somewhere. But yeah, this is a great album, and as I say, one of my favourites of all time. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into showing you these finds. This first one here is just a 7-inch that I picked up a couple of weeks ago now, and I was just really kind of curious to hear what this guy has to offer. It's by a guy called Ed Sheeran, and this is his single, The A-Team. I'm not sure what the situation is outside of the UK and in the US and places like that, whether you guys have heard of Ed Sheeran. He's kind of like a new kid on the block. He's very, very young still, I think 21 years of age. And he's kind of a rising star here in Britain. And, it just seems to me like he's really kind of, rocketed to fame in the last couple of months. And I was really intrigued to kind of see what all the fuss was about. So I thought I'd pick this single up. It's on a nice orange vinyl. And obviously it's got the standard song, The A-Team, on the A side, and on the B side is like a really nice warm reggae remix, which I really enjoyed as well. But yeah, this guy is a real breath of fresh air in my opinion. I mean, I was really starting to lose kind of a lot of faith in pop music and the charts, and I still am. I'm not a fan of that sector of music, of the music industry, but I'm really glad that someone like Ed Sheeran has broken through kind of into the mainstream, and he's making good, decent music, and it's becoming popular, and young people are listening to him, and I just think it's 100 million times better than the kind of garbage that some young kids are growing up with today, and like there's just such. The music industry, like the music that you hear in the charts nowadays, is just so predictable in my opinion, and just so bland. And I'm just really happy to see someone like this guy come through and reach this level of popularity. He's got an album coming out next week, I believe. So that should be good. I'll check that out. But if you haven't heard of him, I definitely recommend just like maybe typing his name into YouTube or something and listening to a couple of songs, and let me know what you think. I mean, his music's probably not for everybody. I'm not sure everyone will like it. He's not one of my favourite artists or anything, but as I say, I think it's great that he's broken through, and because I think he deserves it, and I think he writes writes some good lyrics as well. So definitely check Ed Sheeran out if you haven't already. And yeah, that was the first thing. Second of all, these next two records actually I've got from the same online retailer, but this one here I've been wanting just for so long. Ever since it came out, really, I've been wanting to get this on vinyl. I think this actually was released on Record Store Day this year. But I don't think our store was stocking it at that time, but I finally got hold of it. It's Bob Dylan in Concert, Brandeis University, 1963. And this is a really kick-ass concert. I mean, if you don't own this on vinyl or on CD, even if you're remotely into Dylan, I definitely suggest you check this show out, because in my opinion it's a lot better than some of the other shows that he did around that time. I mean, I own a lot of Bob Dylan bootlegs, and this ranks right up there, in regards to my favourite Dylan shows. And yeah, this is a really nice pressing, 180 gram, as you can see there, on RTI, and they've just done an amazing job with this. They've got all the historical information there on the back, and some nice pictures, and it just sounds amazing. Even on my crappy turntable, it really does strike you. The pressing is really top notch. So if I was to urge you to get this, I'd say maybe look to get it on vinyl instead of CD, but just getting hold of this, I would strongly recommend, because it's an amazing show, especially when you consider kind of the historical significance and context of it. At this time, historically, JFK was still president. The Cuban Missile Crisis had literally just happened, like a few months prior. In terms of Dylan's personal career, he was in a kind of transition period. I believe this was recorded in May of 1963, so he was yet to release his second album, Freewheelin', and he was really trying to kind of find his feet in the music industry at this point. He wasn't yet the superstar that he would become. Obviously the Freewheelin' album really catapulted him to fame, and his first album really did struggle. The one he released in 1962 didn't sell many copies, and John Hammond, who signed Dylan up in the first place, was really starting to kind of almost regret his decision, because he wasn't proving a commercial success. But obviously he went on to do amazing things, and this is kind of a capturing a very special moment, I believe, in his career. So definitely recommend you check this out. It was from recently discovered audio tapes. Literally, they discovered the tapes, I think, just under a year ago. So really hasn't been around long, and a real kind of historical document. So definitely would recommend this to anybody who's a Dylan fan. So that was really great to get. This next one here is kind of a leap into the unknown for me. It's kind of a shot in the dark. I mean, I'd never experienced anything quite like this before. But this is Earth, Earth 2 by the band Earth. This is a special low frequency version. Not quite sure when this was released, actually. I think it might have been sometime back in the early 90s. But I do know that this is one of the pioneering albums of the drone genre, that has become more and more popular since. Yeah, this is, as I say, something I hadn't experienced before, and I was eager to hear, what it was like, and I'm glad I picked this up. I mean, it's I'm not going to be leaping up anytime soon and saying this is, my favorite genre or favorite band or anything. But I'm glad I took the time to listen to it, and the consistent drone sound the whole way through is a real. It really does create an atmosphere, and it's unlike anything I'd ever quite heard before. So I was pleased. I was pleased with this, and I'll be looking to check out maybe some other drone bands in the future. Bands like Sun and is it Merzbow? And I think even Boris, the Japanese band, were influenced by these guys, by this album. So yeah, really happy to pick this up. This was on obviously Sub Pop, which is a great label, and yeah, really happy to get that one as well. This final album that I wanted to show you in this video is another one back to my comfort zone, I guess. Back to Dylan, I'm afraid. But it's another one I've been meaning to pick up for so long, just haven't got round to it, and I finally found a nice copy. This is Bob Dylan's Desire from 1976. One of his one of his best albums of the 70s, in my opinion. Doesn't quite, I don't think, quite reach the heights of Blood on the Tracks. Blood on the Tracks is in my opinion, one of the best albums of all time. But this album certainly comes relatively close, and really enjoy the songs on this album. It's got some absolute killer songs. Hurricane, obviously Dylan's tribute to the wrongly convicted Reuben Hurricane Carter. That's an amazing song, one of Dylan's most famous of the 70s. Then you got songs like Isis, which is amazing. Joey, which I think is a very underrated Dylan song. And then the final song on the album, which is Sarah, which is like Dylan's final farewell to his wife at the time, Sarah Lowndes, and it's a real moving song to listen to. It's kind of like his final plea for her to stay, and it's a real moving one, and I really enjoy it. That song, it's probably my favourite on the album. So this is Desire, and it was very high up on my list of priorities to get. I'd really like to get a copy of Blood on the Tracks on vinyl. That's my next Dylan album I want to really hunt down. But really happy to finally get a copy of this. And that's really the 4 finds I wanted to show you in this first video. As I say, I'll be back hopefully straight after this to do to show you the remaining 25 records. But I hope you check out Ed Sheeran. I think some of you out there will really enjoy what this kid has to offer. And as I say, I'll be back in straight after this to do another vinyl update. Apart from that, thanks very much for watching, guys, and stay tuned.